Welcome to today's revision paper. We're going to tackle Moi Girls High School Eldoret. That is paper 2, section 1. Now we are going to tackle section 1, then section 2 will follow shortly after this. So you can see the instructions to the candidate. They are usual. So you go through them. Then we move straight to section 1, which carries 50 marks. And you're asked to answer all questions in this section in the spaces provided. So make sure you're answering your questions in the spaces that you are provided with. The first question is quantity P varies directly as the square root of Q and inversely as the square of R. Determine the percentage change in P when Q is increased by 44% and R decreased by 28%. So the question is, we determine the percentage change in P and Q is increased by 44% and R reduced by 28%. So we start with P, and they're saying that P varies directly as the square root of, that is square root of Q, and inversely as the square root of R. So as the square of R, square of R. So that means we have P will be equal to K square root of Q, then over R squared. So we now find that this is now P. We find P prime, which is increased by, whereby Q is increased by 44%. So P prime, we shall have the square root of, now R, Q is increased by 44%, so we shall have 1.44 Q, that is 144%. Then over, now R squared, R is reduced by 28, so we shall have 72%, that is 0.772 R times 0.72 R. So that is now R squared, R by R, so that we have our P prime to be equal to 1.2 square root of 1.44 is 1.2 root Q over 0.5184 R squared. So that we now move to, so that we look for, we continue with P prime, so that we find the value of P. So P will be equal to now 2.314814815 root Q squared. So that for us to find the percentage change, we are supposed to take this one 2.3148148, that is 5, we round off, minus now 1. Now we divide by the 1 of the original one times 100%. So that when you subtract, we are going to find that the percentage change is 131.5%. 0.5%. So that one becomes the percentage change in P when Q is increased by 44 and R reduced by 28. That is how you get your 4 marks. Then we move to the next question. Solve the question. Solve the question. Log begins. So 2 log base 4 x plus 2 minus log base 4 3x minus 1 equals to 1. So in this case, we have to make now 1 tilde base 4 so that we shall have log is 4 into x plus 2 minus log base 4 into 3x minus 2. Now, 1 will be equal to log base 4, 4. That is equivalent to 1. So we have everything under base 4, so that we have minus logs, minus, that means it's division, so that we shall have log, so we have x plus 2 squared, so we divide by 3x minus 2, so that we have is equal to 4. We are dropping now, we dropping the log so that we cross multiply. We have now x plus 2. X plus 2 squared will be equal to 4 into 3x minus 2. So that we open up, have x squared plus 4x plus 4 will be equal to 12x minus 8. So x squared minus 8x plus 12 will be equal to 0. So that x squared minus 2x minus 6x plus 12 is equal to 0. We collect like terms so that we have x into x minus 2 minus 6 into x minus 2 gives us 0. So we have x minus 6, then x minus 2, so that gives us 0. And with that, we're going to get our x to be equal to 6, or x is going to be 2. So x equal to 6 or x is equal to 2. So those are the two values x in our question. That is how you get your 3 marks. Then move to the third question on binomial expansion. So using binomial expansion to expand 1 plus 1 over x or 5 up to the term in x or negative 3. Now, in this case, up to 5, that means that our coefficients are going to be 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1. So those are our coefficients. In this case, now we expand, but now to the term where x is negative 3. So this is what you're going to have. You're going to have 1 plus 5 over x plus 10 over x squared, and then plus 10 over x cubed. Because of the negative sign, that's why you're doing this. We are reciprocating. So this is going to be the value of x, the expansion up to the term x power negative 3, or this is the same as 1 plus 5x negative 1 plus 10x negative 2 plus 10x negative 3. So yeah, you can either give us the answer to be this one, or this one. It is the same thing. So you either give us this or that, which is the same thing. You get your 1 mark. Then use the expansion above to evaluate 1.5 power 5. So we first of all find the value of x. We find the value of x. We have 1 plus 1 over x. 1 plus 1 over x equals to 1.5. Equals to 1.5. So 1 over x is equal to 0.5. So that 0.5 x equal to 1 divided by, so divide by 0.5, divide by 0.5. So x is equal to 2. That is the value of x. Now, using the above, we now take where we have x, we replace with 2. So we have 1, we shall have 1 plus 5 over 2. Now plus 10 over 2 squared, which is 4, plus 10 over x cubed, which is 2 cubed, and it is 8. So that our final answer becomes 7.25, or we can have it as 7 and a quarter. So this is going to be answer 7.25, or which is the same as 7 and a quarter. That's simple. Then we move to the next question. That is question number 4, making x the subject. So we're going to make x the subject in this formula. So when we have this square root sign, that means we square both sides to remove them. So we square both sides so that we have this other side shall have t squared equals to, now square root sign goes with the square, so that we have y x, we open up y x minus y squared over x minus k. So that should cross multiply, and we have t squared into x minus k equals to yx minus y squared. So that x t squared now minus k t squared equals to xy minus y squared. So x t squared minus xy gives us k t squared minus y squared. So we factor out. So we factor out x here. So we shall have x into t squared minus y, then goes to k t squared minus y squared. y squared. So we divide both sides by t squared minus y. So we divide by t squared minus y divided by t squared minus y. So this one goes with this, and we have our x to be equal to kt squared minus y squared divided by t squared minus y. That is how we make x the subject of that formula. Then you will simply get your 3 marks, and then you move to the next question. Now, calculate the shortest distance in nautical miles between 2 points. A, that is 35 degrees north, 30 degrees east, and B, 65 degrees north and 150 degrees west in the Earth surface. So we can see we have the latitudes, the longitudes. First of all, we find the angle difference. The angle difference. The angle difference. So the angle difference now we are going to take that is we have what is now, yeah, okay, our angle difference, we are going to have 35. We're going to have 35 plus 65. 35 plus 65. So that we have our angle difference. Sorry. Yeah. So that we have our angle. So we have 35 plus 65. We're going to get 90. Yes. So that we now use the formula D is equal to 60 theta. We use the formula D equals to 60, and then times theta. So angle difference, when you add, you're going to get 100 degrees. 100 degrees. The shortest distance between 2 points. The 2 points, those are the 2 points. So we find D. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. We having something. So with the angle difference, the angle difference we're going to have angle difference, we're going to have 25 plus 55. So that we get 80 degrees. Then we can still use our formula D, which gives us D is equal to, they want to calculate the distance. The distance of the nautical miles we multiply by theta, 60 times theta. And we have 60 times our theta now is now 8. Theta is 8. So that we get 4,800 nautical miles. So that one, you get your 3 marks. Simple as that. Then move to 6. The gradient function of a curve is given by dy dx, which is 3x squared minus 8x minus 3. Now, if the curve passes through the point -1, 6, find its equation. Find its equation. Now, dy dx is 3x squared minus 8x minus 3. So that means y is going to be now. So we shall have x cubed minus 4x squared minus 3x plus c. Yeah, that way. So that we are having our y is 6. So 6 is equal to, and our x is -1. So we have -1, 3, then minus 4 into -1 squared minus 3 times now negative, that is now -1, then plus c. So our c is going to be 8. C is going to be 8. So that our y, the value of y becomes x cubed minus 4x squared minus 3x, then plus c, which is 8. That's 8. So that is it. So that is how we find the value of c, and then we replace it in the equation so that we come up with the equation that curve. So y is equal to x cubed minus 4x squared minus 3x plus 8. Then we move to question number 7. Given that OA equal to A, given that OA is equal to A, OB is equal to B, and that P divides AB in the ratio 3, -1. Express OP, that is vector OP, in terms of vector A and B. In terms of vectors A and B. Now, we have vector AB. We have vector AB, which is given by AO plus OB. It is vector AO plus vector OB. And we have AB to be equal to B minus A. B minus A. So our AB is OA plus OB, and that means AB is equal to B minus A. Now, OP, vector OP. OP is, now using the ratio, we have 3/2 B plus -1/2 A. This is now vector OP. So this means that OP, vector OP is equal to, that one is 1.5 B minus 0.5 A. Or this is the same as OP, same as 1.5 B minus 1/2 A. Is the same thing. It's just the same thing. So you either have vector OP to be equal to 1.5 B minus 0.5 A, or vector OP is equal to 1.5b minus half b. One is in decimal places and the other one is in fraction. So that is the only difference. So you can have it in either of the two. So with that, you get your 3 marks. Then you move to the next question, that is number 8. Two parallel chords AB, which is 4 centimeters, and CD 10 centimeters, lie on the same side of the center or of the circle. The perpendicular distance between the two chords is 2 centimeters. Calculate the radius of the circle, giving your answer to 2 decimal places. The answer should be in 2 decimal places. Now, we use R. We know that R is given by the square root of. Now we have now 2 squared, then plus 2 plus x squared, 2 plus x squared. So we are going to have R to be equal to the square root of x squared plus 5 squared. So those are the two values of R. So R is 2 squared plus 2 plus x squared, and also R is equal to square root of x squared plus 5 squared. So we can equate the two. Now that they are all equal to R, we can now say, and now we can drop the square root sign so that we have 2 squared, so that we find the value of x plus 2 plus x squared now is equal to x squared plus 5 squared. So that means we have 4 plus 4x plus x squared is equal to x squared plus 25. So 4x is going to be equal to 17. So that x is equal to 4.25. 4.25. Now, R is equal to, it was x squared, which is 4.25 squared. Now that is the square root of that, plus 5 squared. So our R is going to be 6.56 centimeters. So that is the value of R now. That will be 6.65 in 2 decimal places, remember? So we had it that way. Then the next question is number 9, sorry. 9. So number 9, you solve the equation 8 sine squared x plus 2 sine x equals to 3 for x being greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 360. So we find the values of x, or the values of x. Now we can let us let sin x be equal to y. where we have sin x, we replace with y, so that 8 sin x squared, that means now it is 8y squared plus now 2y minus 3 goes to 0. So 8y squared minus 4y plus 6y minus 3 equal to 0. So 4y, now we can up into 2y minus, then we have plus 3 into 2y plus 1, which still gives us 0. So 4y plus 3, then 2y minus 1 gives us 0. So that means our y is going to be negative 0.75, or y is going to be 0.5. 0.5. Now, now we can look for the sin 0.5, the sin inverse, now that sin x is equals to 0.5, and also sin x is equal to negative 0.75. So the sin inverse, so x, the first value of x is equal to the sin inverse of 0.5, and we also have x is also equal to sin inverse of negative 0.75. So our values of x are going to be 30 and degrees, that is 30 degrees, and 150 degrees. So those are, we are not yet done. So we go to the next part. So those are for x. Those are the sin inverse of 0.5. So we have this, and we have x 30 and 150. And now we look for the x is equal to the sin inverse of negative 0.75. Now this one gives us also the two values, so that x becomes 40. So with this, the sin inverse will become, x becomes negative 48.59. Therefore, our x is going to be now 229. No, we don't round up. We simply say now 228 point 228.59, and we also have 311.41, so that you can say hence x, all the values of x, now we have 30 degrees, 150 degrees, 228.59 degrees, and 311.41 degrees. So those are the all values of x in that question. So having the 4 values of x, you qualify to get all the 3 marks that is going to be awarded. Then move to question number 10. Question number 10. Now, a teacher's college can accommodate a maximum of 730 students. The number of male students must be at least 450, while the number of females must exceed 277. Taking x to represent the number of male and y the number of female students, write down all the possible inequalities representing the information. So that one looks easy. They're saying a teacher's college, it can have a maximum of 730 students. So that is male and female. And we have male as X and female as Y. So all of them, that is X male plus female, they are saying maximum of 730. It is either there are 730 or less. Therefore, it is less than or equal to 730. Then they are saying male students must be at least 450. That means male is X, so X must be at least. So it is 450 or more. So we shall have X is greater than or equal to 450. And then lastly, female students must exceed 277. So Y must exceed, that means it must be greater than 277. That way. So those are the 3 equations that, the inequalities that represent the above information. And with that, get your 3 marks. That is. Then we move to the next question, that is question 11. The cash price of a television is 45,000. A customer decided to purchase it in hire purchase by paying a deposit of 15,000. Now calculate the monthly rate of compound interest charged on the remaining balance if the customer is required to repay the television in 8 equal monthly installments of 4,000 each. So we are supposed to find the rate. We have amount, which is 45,000. Now, we know that we know the formula amount is given by principal into 1 plus R over 100. And so amount is equal to 8 months times 400. Sorry, 4,000 each month. So that is equivalent to 32,000. In those 8 remaining months, you're going to pay 32,000. So the principal P, the television cost 45,000. But now this customer is going to pay he has already paid 15,000. So that means the principal, we have 30,000. 30,000. So that is the amount remaining. which is 30,000. So that we are going to take the amount to be 32,000. He's going to pay 32,000, but the principal is 30,000. Now, we have to look for the rate now. We have to look for it. Now, 32,000, which is the amount, is equal to principal, which is 3,000, into 1 plus R over 100 in 8 equal installments, so that we shall have 1 plus R over 100 and 8 will be equal to, now we divide, we shall get 1, 2. Now, for this one, we shall now have 1 as R over 100, which gives us now the root, 8th root of 1 over 15. So we have 1 plus R over 100, which gives us 1.0081. So that R over 100 gives us 0.0081. And our R, now the value of R becomes 0.81 cent. So that is the rate. The customer was given with a rate of 0.81 cent. Now moving to the next one, we have the equation x squared minus 6x plus y squared plus 14y plus 22 equals to 0 represents a circle. Determine the equation of its image under a reflection. The line x is equal to 0. X is equal to 0. Now we shall have, so the equation x squared, so we shall have x squared plus y squared minus 2ax, then minus 2by plus c equals to 0. Equals to 0. We have x squared minus y squared minus 2x minus 2by plus c equals to 0. So we shall have x squared plus y squared minus 6x, then plus 14y plus the constant, which is 22, which gives us 0. Gives us 0. So we are going to have negative 2a, x being equal to negative 6x. So we now divide by negative both sides, negative 2x, negative 2x. So this one goes with that, then into, then this, then 2 into that. So we shall have a being equal to now 3. A is going to be equal to 3. Now negative 2by is equal to 14y. So you look for the value of b. So b is going to be -7. Now, can now have the center of the object is now what? 3, -7. So that is the center. Then you have the center of the image now. Center of the image. Now the center of the image is going to be -3, -7. Now R is equal to the square root of 3 squared plus -7 squared, then minus 22. Then our R, we have it now as 6. Have it as 6. Now we look for the equation. The equation of the image. Equation of the image. Now, the equation now will be x plus 3. The image now squared plus x plus 7 squared equals to 6 squared, which is 36. So that is it. The equation of the image is going to be x plus 3 squared plus x plus 7 squared, which is going to give us 36. That is simply 6 squared. You get your answer. Move to the next one. That is how we get those 4 marks. Move to the next one. That is question number 13. In the figure below, A, B, C, and D are points on the circumference of the circle with center O. The line EF is a tangent to the circle at point C. Angle BAD is equal to 95 degrees and angle BDC is equal to 72 degrees. Now you can see the figure. Now you're asked to determine the size of angles BCD. So BCD, this angle. Now we know that 95 and the BCD, they have to give us the mass, give us 108. So it is now going to be easy. Simply take 180 degrees minus 95. So you get 85 degrees. So that is now 1 mark. So you have 85 degrees. Then next they are asking for DCF. DCF, this angle. So for us to get this angle, first of all, let us look for this angle DBC. This angle. How do we get it? You simply take 72 plus 85 minus 180. Angles on a triangle add up to 180. This plus this minus 180. So we are going to get 23 degrees. So once we have this as 23 degrees, you're automatically going to have this one here as 23 degrees. Yeah, we're going to have it actually. So therefore, it is simply 23 degrees. Now, you simply take 180 degrees minus. So that is 85 plus 72. So we have 23 degrees. And you get your 2 months. That's simple. That's simple. That is how we get, because this 72, so 72. So 72.85, and that is, you get 180 degrees. Now question 14. A point A, xy, is mapped onto A prime x1, y1 by successive transformation K, which is equal to 2101, followed by T, 1, -230. Determine the single transformation matrix that will map A prime x1, y1 onto A xy. So we have the two. So we have this one first. First of all, we have 1, -2, that is T. So it's say T by, multiply T by K. T by K. So we shall have 1. So T is 1, -2, then 3, 0. We multiply by K, which is 2, 1, 0, 1. So we shall have 2 plus 0, 1 minus 2, 6 plus 0, then 3 plus 0. That way, so that our answer now becomes 2, -1, then 6, 3. So that one is now when we multiply T by K. T by K. Now, we look for the determinant of the matrix. So we're going to take 2. So T determinant is now 2 times 3, then plus now 6, which is 12. So we take the inverse of the determinant, which is 12, we multiply by, we interchange the positions and the sign. So we 3, shall have 3, 2, then -6, 6. So we have so we interchange the positions and then the signs. So signs we shall have -6 and 1, changing the sign. So we multiply. So we're going to have 1 over, that is a quarter, then 1 over 12, then a half, then 1 over 6. 1 over 6. So this is now the final answer for that. That one, that's simple. Then you get your 3 marks. Then the second last question is question 15. And it is saying, a carpenter wishes to cut 2-meter long piece of wood into 9 equal parts. He approximates the length of each piece to 0.22 meters. Calculate the percentage error due to this approximation. Percentage error due to this approximation. Now, a carpenter 2 meters, 9 equal parts. That is now 2 over 9. 2 dividing it into 9 equal parts. which is now the actual. Then you approximate the length of each piece to be 0.22 meters. So the approximation now will be, that is the same as 11/50 meters. This is approximation. So calculate the percentage error due to this approximation. So we shall simply take actual, which is 2/9, minus the approximation divided by the actual, which is 2/9. That's simple. Then we multiply by 100% to change it to percent. So we shall have 1%. This is the percentage error that is going to happen due to that approximation. Then the last part of this section 1, it's the population of a colony of bacteria was recorded at intervals of 5 seconds as shown in the table below. That is time, the number of bacteria. Now on the grid provided, draw the graph of population of bacteria against time. Population, time. So the graph you are given, the graph is labeled the X and Y axis. On the X we have time, Y we have population. So our work is simply to draw the graph. Now using the given, we have when X is 0, Y is 5, X 0, Y is 5. So we have it here. Then when X is 5, Y is 7, 5, 7 here. Then 10, 11, there. Then we have 15, 16, 15, 16 there. And then we have 20, 24, 20, 24 here. Then 25, 36. 36 is here. So we simply draw the graph. It is now graph. So we have our graph, as you can see. So we've drawn. So we get the 2 marks for doing that. Then determine the average rate of change between when t is 5 and t is 20. Correct to 2 decimal places. So when t is 5, when t is 5 here, so it is 5, 7. 5, 7. And then when t is 20, so it's 20. So you have 20 what? 20, 24. 20, 24. So with that, we simply find the gradient. So find the gradient, change in y, change in x. So we shall have change in y, we have 24 minus 7 over change in x, which is 20 minus 5. So we shall have 17 over 15, which gives us 1.13. So that is the average rate of change of the given graph. and that gives you a mark, giving you a total of 50 marks. That is section A. Before I forget, and we shall be uploading the section 2 in less than 24 hours. So remember to subscribe, like, share, so that when we upload, you will be notified for the section B. Now, we have this. You can have a look at this. This is now the December holiday program that will be running for, that is 5 weeks. 5 weeks. It is targeting basically sciences and the mathematics. That is for the high school students. And it is also having students on grade 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you are also going to have the same. That is running from the 11th of November to 12th of December. Those are 5 weeks. You can get us through the number you can see on the screen, 0757019011. That one. Remember, ascending grades is where you can elevate your grade and elevate your feature. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being part of us.